Yo, what's up, y'all? So, as y'all already know, we have recently reacted to the Kvrtez Kathelina drama, whoever her name is. She was a former streamer, a part of the Streamer University clique. She ended up doing collabs with people like yourrage and other people in that, realm. And she ended up cheating on her boyfriend, Imnotkenneth, with not his friend, not her boy best friend, but with her cousin. And I'm talking about the real nasty, dirty deed. You know what I'm saying? Not just some. No, I'm talking about the nitty gritty, gang. And she has finally, it's been a few days and we reacted late, but she has finally dropped her response. And we're going to be reacting to it. So let's see what she has to say. And I'll give my opinions throughout the video, but primarily at the end. So let's just see what she's talking about. I ain't gonna lie.
I am here to say my truth and share my story on the things that have been released on the internet and the things that have happened to me. First and foremost, I want to start off by taking full accountability for what I did.
You have no choice. You have no, there's no getting out of this one.
Apologizing to the person that I hurt the most in this situation, which was my ex. I want to say sorry to my supporters that I disappointed. I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of, and I have to own up to them.
All right, good PR, good PR.
I'm so sorry for hurting you, and I'm sorry that I did not take your feelings into consideration when I did what I did.
Nigga, what? What does that mean? I didn't take your feelings into consideration. Let's forget about Kenna's feelings. You had smecks with your cousin. Let's just focus on the facts. You had smecks with your cousins. You shouldn't have to take anybody's feelings into consideration. And off the rip, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This feels hella rehearsed and hella fake. But let's continue.
But our relationship was not picture perfect as it may seem. I lost myself in our relationship, and I was in a very dark place at the time when I did what I did. I have to own up to what I did, and I have to take accountability for my actions. And doing that, I've come to realize that I need help for myself and for all my loved ones around me. I know I've done wrong, I fucked up, and I'm taking time away to seek professional help in order to correct my mistakes, reflect on what I've done, and become a better person. But I would still like to come on here to share my story because regardless, I've done wrong and I did not have to go down that route, and I deeply regret it. But there's more to my story, and there's a lot of lies and misinformation being spread about me in order to farm more hate and negativity towards my name, and I would like to clear up a lot of things. First, I want to address the note that was released online. I did not have any involvement in creating it or writing it in any way.
Cap of hell. Nigga, that's a shared, hold on, look at me. That's a shared note. That's a shared note. And things were crossed out, weren't they? Am I tripping? Things were crossed out. You're lying. This fake.
It was shared to me. And I also want to make
it was only
shared,
clear. Okay.
I did not have any sexual intercourse with anybody outside of my relationship. There was a rumor going around that I was cheating my entire relationship, and I've been doing this for months, which is completely false because this is only a recent incident that had occurred. I'm not trying to make anything I've done sound any better.
But she's lying though.
It's important that I share my truth because of the insane amount of lies that are being
like hold on, but what is recent? What is recent? I'm gonna call out her lies because I haven't watched this, but I've seen little itty bitty clips and she lies a lot. I'm gonna call out all these lies. In the past video, you were saying how y'all been doing this since y'all were little kids. So it wasn't just a specific time frame, nigga. You've been doing this for a long time. So either you've been in this dark place for a long time, or you're lying to save face.
I want to clear up that I wasn't disowned by anybody, and I still have a great relationship with my mother. This was a fallacious rumor that was started by someone that I thought was a friend, and is completely untrue. My family does not agree with the choices that I made, but they're standing beside me as I continue to get help and work to better myself. I also want to talk about a stream that my ex was on where he alleged that I did not want to publicly claim him and I wanted to hide our relationship from the internet. But in reality, in the first year of us being together, we actually had a popular couple page. And the real reason on why I wanted to go back,
when did he say that?
At the
I don't
time,
remember him saying that.
A lot of people actively telling me to leave him because it was toxic.
I would often discuss his toxic behavior towards me in my live streams. Oh no. Hold on. There's no way you're doing you're doing the switcheroo? Nigga, are you doing the let's take the attention off me and point at thee? Rules for thee don't apply to me type shit? Are you doing that? Bro, this is getting worse as the time continues.
Any cousin or stepbrother or any content like that we made together was his idea, and he convinced me to do it. The next thing I want to address is a very serious topic. It is my belief that suicide in any form should be taken serious and never lightly. While I understand the streaming business and the need to say crazy things in order to get clips and impressions, the thought that somebody's personal struggle with suicide can be used by anybody for jokes and views is disgusting and cruel.
And I agree with that. People should not be trying to bully her and to like KYSing. That's ridiculous.
That I admitted myself into a suicide facility in order to get attention from my ex. I was involuntarily admitted into a suicide facility because I was considered a threat to myself. It was a terrible experience and one I would never wish on myself or anybody else. I want to say to Snow Cone that while I understand I'm not perfect and I've done wrong, regardless of the mistakes that a person makes, that doesn't give you or anybody else the right to belittle, lie, and create false allegations about somebody's mental health.
And I agree with what she's done. Shame absolutely. It needs to happen. It needs to happen. That's the reason why people are so sexually perverse now anyways, because there's no shame behind it. There's no true consequence behind it, right? There's contraceptives, Plan B, condoms, things to stop you from getting the STDs that you actually would be getting. There's no true, like, law. There's no law to where you have to face jail time. That's why it's so easy to not be a murderer, to not be a rapist. It's because there's actual ramifications behind that. It's easy to not be those things, but when it comes to being a sexual deviant, other than being a rapist, there's no law behind it. There's no law, so people willy-nilly abuse it. It's even easy to not be a drug addict because not only does it ruin people's quality of life, but it's because there's laws behind that. There's consequence behind that. There's no true consequence behind being a hoe nowadays because there's no shame. So while I do agree that shame absolutely needs to happen behind this, shame and bullying are two very different things. Telling someone to KYS, I'm sorry, over a situation like this, though it's a gross situation, it's not right to do that. That's bullying, that's jesting, and God knows your heart. You're not doing it because you're actually so upset and disgusted. No, nigga, you're doing it because you want a reason to bully somebody. And I completely agree with her on this, not gonna lie.
Throughout all of this, you've lied and made up rumors about me in order to hate farm me and get attention. Even though you don't care, I want to let you know that the rumors you created have garnered me more death threats and have made my mental battle that much harder. And that hurts from someone I considered a close friend. Me and my ex were involved in a toxic and abusive relationship.
Here we go.
When I was loving him, I was blind to the harmful behavior and abuse that was going on.
But that's the thing. We're not here to talk about your relationship with each other. Even when your ex made the video, we weren't here to talk about whether or not y'all niggas were good to each other. We were here to talk about the fact that you did something with your cousin and how you should be owning up to that. Yeah, sure, you say, oh, I take accountability, but it's like we're like dodging it right now. What are we doing?
Our relationship was built on unhealthy emotional attachment, and I stayed because it was all that I knew. He was my first boyfriend, he was my first everything, and I met him when I was 18, just graduated high school, and he was 21. There's two sides to every story, and
I like how she put that in there, gang. Hold on. You see how she did that? I was 18, fresh out of high school, and he was 21. By the way, gang, you low-key weird with that. I ain't gonna lie. Like, fresh out of high school, 18 is low-key good. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Even as a 20-year-old. But still, though, you see how she kind of did that? Like, you're all like, come on, bro. We see through that, bro. Come on, bro. Let's be real, nigga.
And our relationship was unhealthy on both ends. And since he's decided to bring my wrongdoings onto the internet, I believe it is only fair that I bring attention to the things that he has done to me, because my ex was never a saint like he paints himself out to be.
An eye for an eye.
We had a lot of arguments throughout our relationship, which was normal. But what wasn't normal was the verbal, mental, and physical abuse that he subjected me to. He put me through a lot in the past 2.5 years of us being together. He even forced himself on me at one point.
Bro, stop. I'm not doing this. Believe all women. Believe the no, nigga. Innocent till proven guilty, nigga. Stop this. Are we really trying to make him look like a rapist? We're trying to make him look like a rapist because you had smacks with your cousin? Are we doing that right now, gang? Be real, bro.
My ex dealt with a lot of anger issues, and he would often use me as an outlet. For example, he would punch things, he would rip wires in the heat of conflict.
This nigga's just
He
Hulk.
would yell at me when I cried, and he would gaslit me until I believed I was the problem. There were 2 or 3 times where my ex would approach me unprovoked and put me in a chokehold against the wall, and I would tell him to stop because I was scared, and he wouldn't. The next thing I'm about to say are serious allegations.
And I'm not saying this nigga a saint, but like, why we... What are we doing?
At the end of the day, all I can do is come on here, tell my truth, tell my story, whether you want to believe it or not. There was a time where me and my ex were drinking, and he forced himself onto me. And it hurt, and I cried, and I begged him to stop, but he never did. At the time of my essay, he was very rough on me, which resulted in me getting a cut on my insides.
What?
Luckily, I was able to take video footage of the blood on the scene and a graphic photo of the damage that resulted.
The picture of my internal tearing was too graphic to share online. This happened 2 days before my birthday. Ew.
After all this abuse, I formed a trauma bond with my ex, which made it hard for me to leave and left me.
And I'm not gonna lie, gang. If you did rape this girl, you're weird, bro. You're weird. She's not your wife, so you shouldn't even be having sex anyway. But if you did that to her, bro, you're weird. You're just as bad as her.
Cycle of half-hearted apologies that I continue to accept. This was a memory of mine that was heavily repressed because I didn't know how to process it at the time, and I was very oblivious to what a healthy relationship was supposed to look like. After 1 year of mental torment and trying to get my ex to change to no avail, I left.
Oh wait, let's read these. Yeah, man, I passed out. What does this have to do with you hitting your cousin? But let's continue.
I left. Here's proof of my ex admitting.
I'm sorry. I started shaking when I seen your text. I still am. Good. You hope I ride in hell? I've been in hell for these past 11 days. I have been experiencing hell on earth. Good. I am just so speechless right now. You should be. I was just thinking about you and ranting about you. As you texted me right now, God work. Nah, the devil. What?
Admitting to his anger issues and admitting to.
I'm not reading all this stuff, bro.
Fallout of our relationship. I still have the letters that he wrote for me where he confessed to his abuse and confessed to the wrongdoings that he put me through in our relationship. I also have a screenshot of a 20-minute confession where he confessed to his wrongdoings, and he made it for me in order to convince me to continue being in a relationship.
Hey, writing the whole letter is low-key crazy though, gang. That is insane. Nigga, you wrote letters?
The link in order to showcase the video for you guys today, but it was sent by him and it was privated by him, so I no longer have access to it. My ex often tried to use money as a way to avoid responsibility for his shortcomings. I'm very grateful for everything my ex bought for me. However, I don't appreciate insisting that I was freeloading off of him when everything he ever did was his choice. And I don't believe a relationship should just be reduced to a list of expenses either. Monetary value does not disregard toxic behaviors. After all,
she's reading it for sure.
I took my ex back in February of 2025, and in March of that year, after leaving him from the airport, I was set into a spiral of losing myself and wanting to seek therapy. Here's the video I recorded after leaving my ex.
Like, I just don't know what I'm doing anymore, but like, I feel like
but you leaving him still doesn't, and like, this is what she isn't realizing. You leaving him doesn't negate the fact that you still stayed with him, number one, and cheated on him with your damn cousin. It doesn't. You cheated on him with your cousin. Can we focus on that part and what was going through your mind during that situation, gang? Damn.
I'm losing my money, bro. But like, I just need to listen and get help from other people in my life, or maybe therapy.
I do feel for this girl, like, but still.
Like, I think like a lot of stuff that's been going on, like in my life, like I need to stop pretending and not. I'm sorry, this is so like non-descriptive, but I just kind of want to pour everything out because I'm breaking point in my life right now. But it's not your problem at all. At all. But,
okay, so you were talking to your friend.
Yeah, I need help in that sense.
But what does this have to do with anything?
And grow up and do better.
At the end of the day, I chose to stay in this relationship and I made my mistakes. I regret everything I did and I wish I could take it all back. I never wanted to hurt anybody and I understand how badly I messed up. The only thing I can do from now is take the time to better myself and to heal. The next and final thing I would like to discuss is my mental health. Throughout everything that has happened, I have come to terms with the fact that I suffer with depression. It's a battle that I've been unknowingly fighting for the past 2 years. I was in denial and blaming.
And that's what happens. Demons get let in from this kind of stuff. Demons get let in. When you're sexually perverse, promiscuous, you don't realize like how much you're letting into you spiritually. Like that act isn't just an act, gang. Like it's a real thing. And like that's what people have to realize, but they don't want to realize it. They think it's just all flesh. Oh no, there's real connection with smecks, nigga. And you're letting demons in, gang. You're letting demons in. You don't know what this other person that you're doing stuff with, but you're so focused on the pleasure and the pleasure and the pleasure, like that you don't realize that you're allowing things like this to enter into you.
About fully understanding myself. Mental health is so stigmatized to where a lot of people, including me, do not get the help that they need when they need it, and it can often lead to self-destruction. Throughout the past few weeks, I've attempted to take my life multiple times, and the only reason I'm here right now is because I failed. During this fight, I stopped
Praise God.
I stopped sleeping, and I struggled to take care of my well-being. I felt helpless, and every day I would struggle with finding a reason to continue to live. I often felt like the world would be a better place without me. The suicide facility that I was admitted to was an abrasive environment that only made me regress more. In my time there, I met a lot of people that were in worse positions than me.
Embracive or abrasive? I'm not even trying to be mean.
Unfair and inhumane treatment that these people receive. And from my experience there and my own personal journey, I've been very motivated to advocate for better resources and more attention given to these people to assist them in getting the proper help that they need. I understand that my actions have consequences, and I also understand how the internet works. So I knew the hate was inevitable, and I have no problem with facing that. However, I do want to remind you guys that I am still a human being, and I don't think anyone deserves the immense cyberbullying and the non-stop death threats that I've received in the past few days.
And I agree with that.
That bringing all of this to the internet and the way my ex did was completely wrong and invasive. It felt like a breach in our privacy. I know a lot of people don't believe I deserve the platform that I have and don't think I should come back to the internet at all. I understand. What I did is undoable, it's terrible, and I can't tell you enough how much I regret it. However, I do want to come back. I do want to be able to use my platform to raise awareness for mental health, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are just like me, who are struggling and they don't even know.
Nigga, I wouldn't say just like you, nigga. I wouldn't say just like you, nigga. I ain't gonna lie. I would not say just like you. Not everybody's out here smacking their cousin, gang. I can't lie.
I will be back to streaming, and I will be back to doing what I love. Because at the end of the day, I want to use my platform to help people. And I do believe after I get stronger and I get help, I can do that.
So that's the end of the video, and I will say I have my thoughts, man. I definitely have my thoughts. So let's address some things that she said. Number one, about the bullying and the cyberbullying and like the death threats and, you know, stuff like that. That doesn't need to happen. God knows your heart. You're not actually outraged that she so promiscuous and you cheated on your person. No, you don't care, nigga. Say your comment, sure. Say your comment. I'm commenting on the situation, but then when you go back and then you follow up by going to her Instagram and DMing her, nigga, you're just a weirdo. Straight like that, you're just a weirdo. You're going out of your way to DM her and tell her that KYS, nigga, you're a weirdo. However, we were here to hear your truth, but not all of this, nigga. We were here to talk about the cousin. We were here to talk about why you did it, and you talked around it the entire time. You did. You talked around it the entire time. You brought up allegations which honestly weren't very substantiated well. You brought up mental health, and yeah, we all can agree that, yeah, that's something that should be taken seriously. But the whole entire time, you chose not to address the primary issue, which was you having relations in any way with your cousin, gang. You tried to say that, oh, this is a recent thing, this isn't something that's been ongoing, but there's multiple clips of you talking about having a crush on your cousin.
But back when I was like, I don't even know the age, to be honest. I was young. I was just hitting puberty. Me and my cousin,
L story, yep, get
we
to the
kind of had a
point.
thing. We kind of had a thing going. But like, it was kind of one-sided though. It was more so me. But like, I remember like, I had a big crush on this nigga because we were best friends. And at the time, being best friends with a guy when I'm just hitting puberty and like my hormones are a little bit like peaking, you know what I'm saying? I kind of associated him with that. I like my cousin. We same age, and I dream about her. And yo, this is really a common thing. Like, yo, y'all niggas was really getting on me with the cousin story I just gave y'all earlier. And mind you, I was really just stepping on the surface of it. I didn't tell y'all niggas the full spiel because y'all niggas are already judgmental. But this is really a common thing, though. Liking your cousin is really a common thing, though. It's really a common thing.
You talk about how this is coming from the heart, but the entire time I can watch you look at a script and everything you're saying feels very rehearsed and robotic and as if you're reading something. And I'm not sure how credible this source is, gang, but nigga, there's a screenshot of a crisis management team talking to you about rebuilding your brand and you saying that you're interested, nigga. And I'm not sure how real this screenshot is, but the fact that you've been lying about this whole relationship with your cousin and that it's something recent when you have clips proving that it's not, and also the fact that since you've come out with this response, people who were close to you are even saying that, nigga, you planned on not even addressing the cousin situation, making your whole accountability feel fake.
What about, are you fucking your cousin? How are you gonna tell people? How are you gonna tell your mods, bro? She was like, I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'm not even gonna mention it. I'm just gonna stream like nothing ever happened. I was like, all right, bro, she didn't even learn her lesson, bro. She doesn't even care.
This placed the blame on everyone else but yourself. And that's an issue, gang. That's an issue. Because you're just running away from the fact that, nigga, you are sexually perverse. You're talking about how you're depressed, how you're sad, how you went through abuse, but what about your perversion, gang? What about that? So I'm gonna end the video off with this right here, bro. People want pleasure, especially in people's like Kathelina's case where she's talking about how she's depressed. You want pleasure to take your mind off of that. So people run to the easiest route, which is sexual perversion. But people don't understand what sexual perversion does. So they continue to chase that dopamine hit, that satisfaction that they get from fornication. And they keep chasing it to get that dopamine hit until they start to realize that it's starting to nullify. So they do crazier and crazier stuff other than just regular smacks in order to maintain that high. And from what I've heard from Kenneth, this girl is freaky, gang. And what happens to freaky people when it comes to sexual perversion? They start to require things that are taboo of what's good and true in order to maintain that satisfaction. And ultimately, it leads to shit like this. F***ing your cousin. We gotta do better, gang. And Kathelina, you gotta do better. This wasn't it.
She said you like to wipe your butt with stuff.
You're an ogre. You look like the Hulk.
You're a big fucker.
Hey, quit. Why are you throwing shit, dude? Thank you, KK. I love you. Shut up, nigger.
Bitch, I'm ballin' like an answer. Lay up on that bitch and hit a friend, nigga, that's an N1. Or that pole, or that Glock, turn her to a dancer. Bitch, I pop a bean, hit his hoe with my hands.